What's the premise behind your robot, Tom Cruise?
It is to...
And what are you calling your robot, or do you know yet?
I'm calling him the Ghetto Bot because the way I put him together is pretty ghetto. So it's going to have 2 arms at angles with spikes that will spin directly like that, so it's like a meat grinder. Basically, it pulls it in, cuts it up. It's got the front wheel and the back wheel for stability because I know that some of the robots are lower to the ground, so I want to be able to give it more stability with the 4 wheels, and having the longer spikes also helps with deflecting. I've also got, let me take the eyeballs out, I've also got a back panel here that I'm going to make for, basically it's going to be just a rotating shield that's got a slight catch in it just for protection, because you can't have too much protection. Remember that, kids.
Alright, Tommy, tell us about your bot there.
Well, this is Voyager 3. It's going to have a pack of C batteries to drive the motors. So this is just a C battery pack with leads soldered onto the ends. Leads in here that you can't see, here and here. These 2 are just touching. So 7 batteries altogether. I'm running 7.5 volts to these motors, the drive motors. Receiver designed for 6 volts, I think. All the guys bought these relay modules that can allow you to run more voltage to your motors, and I wanted to build one from scratch, so I designed and made this one, and I hope it works good. This will be the supply for the receiver. Whoops.
It's broken now.
And this, I think, will be the supply for the weapon motor. I'm hoping that this motor will load a spring somehow and release it quickly, and I hope that whatever spring loaded weighs a lot and comes crashing down with a lot of force.
Tell us about your construction method there.
I had sort of a writer's block. I was having trouble becoming creative enough to do something, so I decided to start, I would just make these strut pieces. So I just made a bunch of these. I just took a ruler and traced down both sides of it and used the metal brake to go right down the center and punched holes every 1 inch. I made a bunch of these. I spent a couple hours just making these, so thinking that I would be able to just cut them up with 10 snips and, you know, screw them together with 832 nuts and bolts. I thought it would be an easy way to construct a frame.
And what does yours weigh right now?
Well, yesterday I added the battery packs, like all 3 of them, and all the electronics, and even the weapon motor, and I came in at right at 3 pounds. So I still got 2 pounds to play around with to actually make the weapon itself. The guys are saying that these motors have a hard time pushing 5 pounds around, so I'm hoping that I'm using some pretty small diameter wheels. I actually got this idea from a robot book that we have. Maybe we can put a link to it or something. It's called what is it? Junk bots, bug bots,
Bots on wheels, I think. We'll put a link in down below.
Kind of cool. And there was a robot in there called the Herbie Photovore, and it had cassette deck motors, or no, I'm not sure what kind of motors they were.
I think
They were
CD
kind of
player motors or something.
They were like angled down, and I thought that was kind of neat, so I sort of modeled this after that. I used actually used the Herbie Photovore as my inspiration, I guess, for this design. I'd like to actually build one of those one day, but right now I'm doing this.